the Triple Threat 3, also known as LadyShel and Jade. They are here with me tonight to continue our drop-in gaming sessions, and we have a special guest tonight. You guys know him in the community as PootyPooPoo, but he is going to be playing a special drop-in character. So I'm going to go ahead and allow the guest to speak first, and then the ladies can say hi after that. So Pooty, what's going on today?
Hey everyone, how's it going? Pooty, I'm just starting out on 5e and Fantasy Ground, so I'm still learning, and I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, my character is a monk. He goes by the name of Mun'kai. He is traveling from the far east, a land known as Shaolong, and he is an apeling or gorilla humanoid type character.
Nice. And first up, we have our brooding, dark wilderness warrior tracker ranger, and that would be Shell's character. So, Shell, can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, like you just said, I'm a brooding ranger that doesn't talk a lot, which is like going against type for me. I am from, where am I from? I don't think I know where I'm from.
You're from
I'm
Chult.
confused. I worship the cat lord, I can tell you that.
Okay.
My tail gives me away. My person, like if I'm upset or something, I might flip my tail or something. It's just, gives me away. I guess that's all I gotta say.
Okay. And we have, let's see, we have Felony, Felonious Feline. She is here with us today. She is played by Roasted. Roasted, can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, my character is Felony Felonious, goes by Felony, and she is a tabaxi rogue. She was raised running all around looking at archaeological sites and with her patron who taught her lots of cool stuff. So she's kind of a tomboy, likes to get in the dirt, and a rogue type character. She likes her friends.
All right. Last but not least, we have Jade with us. She doesn't get to play as much as we hope, but she's here with us now. We're going to take advantage of that. She is playing the third in the Triple Threat 3. And could you tell us a little bit about your character?
Hello. My character is Khatri. She's a wild magic sorceress. She's kind of been on her own for a very long time before she met the other part of the trio.
All right. So we're going to kind of do a little recap of what happened last week. And I'm hoping between the three of you, you guys can sort of sort out what we did last week as far as adventuring goes, and then also where we left off, and maybe a couple thoughts or even some role play. Anybody care to step up and?
Can you share the map again so I can remember?
Sure. Well, this is the new map, so.
Oh, okay.
We were at the mud flats.
Which is where would it be, like to the left as you're looking at this map?
It would actually be to the east of this map.
Okay, that makes sense. So we're heading to this like island.
Yep.
Because I recall, oh yeah, there we go. I stretched the map out. As I recall, our last episode was a continuation from before, where we are trying to rescue this small child that was taken from her mother while they were out picking berries in the jungle. And we think that the what do you call it, guys? The snake people.
The Yuan tea.
Yuan-ti, yeah, Yuan-ti. We think they're in on it because they showed up shortly after we had found tracks going in the direction of which that they came from. And we fought them, and we ended up like getting back on land because we had this whole escapade in this boat where we were rolling bad and like, yeah, it was hilarious. That first episode was very interesting. And then we went on and continued into our last episode, which we were at this mud flats, and we ended up finding another boat out in the water. Wasn't the boat that we left because we were so mad at that boat that we were tried to set it on fire, pushed it out, and got it out of here because we were just done with it. And this boat, we reeled it in, and it was like starting to sink, and we turned, excuse me, turned it over, and we decided that it can be mended, but we have not mended it yet. But we also found a little figurine that was from the front of a Wanti's armor, I guess, and it was like a
It was a
statue.
chess piece.
Oh, it was a chess piece. And when we, I guess we read the word or we said something, and it made these golems, mud golems, and some mud mephits appear. And then we had to fight them. And then there was this giant crocodile. It got in the picture, and luckily it ended up being on our side because of 50-50 chance whether it would go to the mud guys or us. And then it went away at the end. So we're left on the shoreline. We need to get across this river because in the boat we saw the impression of where the child had been sitting. We know the child was in the boat at one time, and we're under the impression that we need to cross this pond or whatever, and we either can cross it in the boat, which with three of us in the small boat, it has a chance of capsizing. Or we can walk around the edge, which there was like a cliff edge. If we took the boat, it would be 2 hours to cross. If we did the walking around the edge, I believe it would take a couple days. I believe that what we decided was that we're going to go boat wise or some other way. We're not going to do the walking because we know the child's life is in danger and we want to be able to rescue it as soon as possible. So I think that's where we left off. If anyone else has anything else to say about that, go ahead.
I think you summed it up pretty good. We are right now looking at trying to track down this little girl, and the best way to do it is to get in this POS boat.
Yeah, you guys had found some berries, which was a leftover clue from the previous session. That is when Erlon was playing Khatri, and you guys were able to kind of follow the trail to the mud banks of the mud pit hole, whatever you want to call it. So you guys are still flowing through these channels, and like they're like a series of channels and creeks and runoff water that eventually empties into the major river. So you guys are kind of drifting outside of the lake now and into more of a channel. And before you is a large land formation that has kind of just stayed put while the waters eroded around it. And at certain times of the year, like during the wet season, that island that you see is a lot smaller. Uh, there's also some sort of structure. It looks really old. It has vines growing all over it. It is also on that land formation. And around the shore of this small channel are a bunch of rocks and pebbles in which the water is starting to pick up speed. So you're imagining that you leaving the lake, you're starting to kind of flow downward. So the water isn't really rapids, but it's picking up as you enter this channel. and the water from over where you came from is kind of spilling over into this area. It's not really a waterfall per se, but it is a spot, a high or a low spot actually, in the wall of the lake. So this is the natural way that the lake empties. So you have a slight current that is pulling you away from the mud pit where the crocodile was. So you guys have just passed through this small narrow area, and you notice this island thing up ahead. And it looks like there are old structures built on it, mainly this tower-like thing that's probably been there for quite some time based on the amount of growth that it has on it. One thing you're grateful for is that there's a slight breeze, and a lot of that stagnant water that was behind you is starting to fade away, the smell. And the boat seems to be holding up pretty well. Every now and again, you guys have to bail out. You have to just basically take your hands and cup the water out of the bottom of the boat. But it is held up quite marvelously considering how much weight and pressure's on it. And it is still leaking, but it's not fast enough to cause much alarm. A few times you guys had a couple close calls with some alligators and crocodiles, and now you're at this point in the waterway, and it looks like the sun will be only up for a few more hours. So you still have a few hours of good daylight before the sun drops behind the trees. So that's where we're starting today. Hopefully all of you have the map up.
Affirmative.
Okay. So I would like to have all of you, including our guest, roll initiative just so we have an order. Okay. So the rest of you don't really know that Mun'kai is here, but he is on the battle map. So that's about all I can tell you about that. So we're going to go to Khatri. So the stagnant waterway kind of slowly pours into this little channel, which kind of forms into like another small rivulet. And it is flowing around that island. And it looks like it's flowing towards the ocean. But the ocean is quite some ways away, a couple 100 miles. But you do notice a slight slope.
So where is the boat?
Oh, sorry. The boat, in relation to everything, is right there. You guys are in the boat.
Hard left? All right, we're gonna ram into this island.
Now you remember, you still have to kind of work as a team. This boat is not as complicated. You'll probably just have to switch off. So I'm not sure who's rowing the boat and who's in the back and who's in the front. So
I'll
let's
row
just
the boat.
Okay. So LadyShel's character, Katcha, is in the center. Who is up front navigating? Felony?
I'll navigate.
Since you're the one calling the shots. And Khatri, you're in the rear of the boat, keeping an eye on the back end. Every now and again, you noticed a crocodile following your guys' boat, but the further you get away from that watering hole, the further that the least likely that they follow your boat. You guys see all manner of tropical birds flying off in the distance. You can hear insects buzzing. Fortunately, the mosquitoes have kind of died down a little bit too. And there's a nice cool breeze blowing through the trees right now. And like I said, you got about 3 hours of daylight.
From where I'm at, would I have any sense of anything on this island? Like, would there be a reason for us to possibly stop?
Maybe. Go ahead and roll a perception in the dice tower, please. All right. So you kind of try to look around the two others to see what's coming up ahead because you're actually facing, the other way. So you probably have to stand up and turn. So can you make me a dexterity check, please? So you don't fall out of the boat.
Can I offer her my hand?
Yes.
Okay, help out.
You kind of hold on to LadyShel's shoulder, and are you still rowing or not?
Yeah, how am I doing that? She could grab my shoulder then.
Yeah. So she kind of
That's
stands up, turns around, and looks forward and sees the structure on the island that's overgrown. And the rest of the island, it's not a very big island. It's kind of more like maybe it was a hill, or maybe this was, and then you kind of come to the conclusion that this might have been an excavation a long time ago by the way it's carved out. There had been people in the past who had used the jungles as their place where they harvest stones and gemstones and all kinds of rare and precious metals. So there's a possibility that this might have been a leftover mine or some sort of excavation, and that would also explain the big hole from the where the crocodiles lived, because that water was about 60 feet deep. And here it's a little shallower, it's only maybe 30 at the most. So maybe at one time they channeled some of the water from the runoff into this area so that they can rinse their mining operations.
Felony gets very excited at the sight of something that could possibly be an excavation. So I'd like to do a history check, which I
Sure.
already did.
Sure. And from what you can remember and what you recall are all the things I told you, and that there was this guy, his name was Merle T. Jack, and he was a famous explorer that had traveled with you and your former patron. And he had come out and done all kinds of excavating, mostly exploratory, kind of like when you go out and you find out what's in the area, you mark it, and then you move on. Well, this is more or less something that was established. You're not sure if this is his or not, but you have heard of other travelers and other treasure hunters doing these kinds of things. And it looks like whoever built this had used some labor from outside. So you highly doubt that whoever's old mine this might have been was the ones that carved the ground. They probably used some kind of labor from within the jungle.
Okay, I'm going to relay that information that I recognize kind of what's going on here, that some labor could have been used. And we're in the boat. I assume the current is pushing us forward. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or is it the rowing that's doing that?
A little of both.
Okay, so if Katcha is rowing, is she steering the boat?
Yeah, she's the only one who has paddles.
Okay.
So she can let up on one side, that sort of thing. She can kind of use if she turns the oar, she can kind of use it as a side rudder. It just depends on how coordinated she is. And so far, I need you to roll a athletics check, Katcha. So Katcha is doing a phenomenal job rowing this single set of oars. She seems to have it well underhand, and she's able to maneuver it if need be.
So, quick question. On this island, down here to the southern end of it, there's the rocks, the pebbles and stuff.
Yep.
Did you say around that way, that's where the water was a little choppier?
Yep, but it's also shallower.
It's shallower. Okay.
And it looks like that would be a good landing point because
That's what I was thinking.
all the other sides are kind of covered in bushes and trees. I mean, you could land there, but you'd be hacking through bushes and nettles and stickers and everything else.
I don't
Or
want no nettles in my fur. I will aim the boat, steer, row, whatever, towards the proposed landing
Okay.
spot on the south end.
All right. So I'm
Hang
going to
a
lock
Louie.
the tokens. Okay. So basically, you're going to move down there. So I want you to roll another athletics check, and if you make it, you will be at the landing point. All right. So you perfectly turn the boat. You're really getting this down. You're basically you have all the skill in the world in this particular instance. So you land the boat perfectly there. And now I'm going to put you guys on the map.
The boat didn't try to kill us this time.
Maybe we're getting the hang of this stuff.
Maybe. I think that since it's getting close to dark, that maybe we should investigate this building, and hopefully if it's empty, that we could get a long rest.
Yeah, I want to check out the structure and see if I can see what it's like integrity-wise.
Okay. As you guys turn and look at the building, you hear like a large popping sound
Uh-oh.
coming from the building itself.
Doesn't
The
sound
building-
like it's empty.
The building looks like it's about, the structure is like 15 feet tall, and there's a ladder that's overgrown with vines. And there's like a small, kind of a half beaten trail leading to it. It's kind of overgrown.
Can I do a tracking or something and see if I see any? It looks pretty jungly here, so I'm probably not going to see any footsteps, but
Okay.
like,
Go ahead
just
and roll
signs of
survival.
people? Okay.
So you kneel down to the ground and you notice that some of the rocks have been disturbed here. And as you take a close look, it looks like the rocks have been overturned somewhat. So there's been more than one, whatever it was that turned over the rocks. And you also notice some flattened brush and some broken grass blades and things like that. So more than one person or thing has been through here, and not very long ago.
And obviously not trying to hide the fact that they were here.
Right. And
I'm
Felony,
looking around.
yeah, you look up and down the structure and take a cursory look at the island itself. You do notice that there was some branches moving that are not moving with the wind.
Ladies, we're not alone.
Yeah, I assumed that when I heard that popping noise. Which direction is the leaves not moving in an unnatural?
To the north.
Okay.
And
so
it's kind of shady.
we all see that. I'm gonna.
Right. Yep.
I'm gonna start heading in that direction and then look at the other ladies. Well,
Okay. Let's see. Okay. As soon as you guys start approaching the tower, you guys hear another popping sound. And from out of the brush come some of your best friends.
I sense some sarcasm there.
Yep, you betcha. You guys hear some movement and some hissing sounds as you guys approach.
Can I try and hide behind this like corner of the building so that they can't see me?
Where?
Where I am. See, like if they were in that dark area and I'm in this corner here, can I be hidden in the spot where I am? Can I do like a stealth
you
check
can
or
certainly
anything?
try, but you need to wait your turn now.
Oh,
So let's roll. Everyone roll initiative now. All right.
nice roll, Felony.
Yeah, Felony.
Thank you.
You have the first reaction, and you noticed a couple heads popping up over the side of that that kind of bamboo wooden tower.
So hopping up from on top.
Yeah, you can hear some sound.
Okay.
So
Hang on.
So you spot somebody up there, like the top of their heads. They have 3/4 cover up there from the angle that you're at.
What do you guys think? They might know about the girl. Should we ask them?
I don't think that they're going to give us any information, seeing that they are wanting.
Okay.
I don't trust them, even if they did tell us. Who knows if it would be a lie?
Which they have 3/4 cover, but I can hit one of them, right?
You can. If you use a missile weapon, you'll have to use a -5.
Got it.
Because you can only see a very small amount of their body through the vines and the bamboo and the angle that you're at.
Well, maybe we can just send a message.
Send a message. So you end up firing up into the with your dagger. I'm assuming you threw your dagger.
I did.
It goes endo to endo and goes right through the rung of the ladder, through the bushes, and up into one of their chests. And you hear this after that, and this gurgling sound.
What's up, baby? All right, I'm gonna hide.
Okay. All right. Mun'kai.
All right. Am I revealed on the map?
No, not to anybody but yourself, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not able to see myself at this time.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. So it looks like I'm been observing this in this tree. About how high up am I?
You're almost eye level with the Wanti that are up there. They were sitting down at one point. Then when the travelers showed up, they stood up. So they made a move.
Okay. And can I tell about how far across this water it is to the other side of this island?
Yep. You want to target one of them by holding down the left control key and click on the nearest Wanti. So hold the left control key and then click on one of the Wanti. And you'll get a distance. Left control key, hold it, and then click on their target.
Right. For some reason, that's not working for me.
Using your left control key as push to talk.
No, I'm using the down arrow key.
Use the left control key.
I'm
And
sorry,
then-
I was using down arrow key to talk.
Okay. Hold the left control key and click on the wantee with your mouse.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Laerun. It's that's not working for me for some reason.
Okay, let me do something else. Try again.
There we go.
Yep. That's because I had you as a neutral on the map, so I can hide you.
Oh, okay, understood.
All right. So now.
So,
Yep. So less than 60 feet. So probably about 30 to 40 feet across.
okay, and am I able to use a bonus action before a primary action?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, so having seen this, Mun'kai's blood just kind of boils at the sight of these snake humanoids, and I'd like to shuffle down the tree. I'm going to use a key point
Mm-hmm.
and use Step of the Wind to
Okay.
get a dash action and also double my jump distance and just try to jump all the way across and see if I can make it up that fort.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is you can move your normal movement rate, but you have to add 15 to it because of the the downward. So you can
Okay.
technically move 45 feet across plus another additional move because you have 45 feet of movement. And then you're dashing. So you can get across there no problem. But you do need to make an athletics check in the dice tower.
Gotcha.
And if that's a skill you're going to use a lot, I would shortcut it. Like acrobatics and such. Okay. So you kind of hop down out of the tree. And could you place your token where you would like to move it to? So drag it.
Yeah.
Drag it to where you're trying to move to. Okay. So you move your token and you climb up. I need you to roll another athletics check to climb up the vines. It should be fairly simple for you. Oh yeah. So you climb up this thing no problem. The other three, you guys saw this blur, and all of a sudden there's this big, huge primate-looking individual climbing and jumping up into the tower up above. And it was
Did y'all
quick.
see that?
It was like a blur.
Have we ever seen a
No.
ape? Oh,
You've seen
okay. So we
you've
don't
seen
know.
monkeys and stuff, but you never seen a gorilla. This
Okay.
thing's the size of a gorilla. So Mun'kai, you've used your bonus action, and you've reached the top, the summit there. You see that they're looking the other direction at the travelers. They haven't noticed you just yet.
All right, I would like to go ahead and strike with my quarterstaff.
Okay. So drag your attack onto the token or into the combat tracker entry.
Whoa.
Whoa. So you just take the end. I think you climbed up and you were on the very edge. And as you were dropping down, you took you jabbed it right into its back. As you're jumping down to the top of the platform. And when your body lands there, it shakes the whole dang platform, and all these bugs and birds fly away that were hanging onto it. And there's a bunch of dust and I don't know, little bits of dirt and stuff falling down from it. Go ahead and roll your damage. Just drag your damage onto your target, please. Nice. So you just do like a bone cracking attack from behind, and you like basically hit right on the back of the shoulder blade.
All right, and am I able to use my extra attack feature?
Yep.
All right, I'll attack that same 1T.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So you follow through with another attack. Holy crap. As you hit this, go ahead and roll damage. Okay. So you do some heavy damage, like you'd almost caved her back in. And as you hit, you hear this large thud from the ground beneath, and this chest of gold like falls and breaks open underneath the platform. Can you roll a percentile? So your level times a D100. So
Okay,
right,
in the tower or just in the chat?
just in the chat. So you're 6th level. So just right click on the 10-sided. You'll see, there you go. Nice. So do the math there. 26 times 6. That's how much
All right,
gold is in that.
156.
So there's 156 gold that drops down from this little like rotten wooden chest, and it goes thud on the ground, and you guys all can hear these coins spilling out. And these two Wanti are hissing and spitting and acting crazy. And now you have doesn't he have a bonus attack for the unarmed strike?
I think that's a bonus action, which I
Oh, okay.
used with the...
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else?
No, that'll end my turn.
Okay.
I think the chest should have hit the Wanti in the head.
All right. So the Wanti turns and faces you, and it has this like dazed, surprised look, and she kind of pulls her head back and juts it forward with her chin, and she ends up spraying you in the face with some kind of nasty, eye-stinging liquid. So you can feel this burning sensation, but your fur and your demeanor allows you to basically to feel less of the pain, I should say. It is something that you are glad that you weren't able to experience, although it did kind of make your eyes water and your sinuses flare up. So that was that. And then it makes a melee attack. So she spins around, hisses at you, and kind of spits this poisonous stuff to try to blind you, I guess. And she missed by a mile. You just kind of dodge backwards really deftly, as if she didn't even swing at all. Okay. Felonious, I need you to make a perception check, please. Okay, as you're watching or assessing how the battle is playing out, you hear a large crashing sound from behind you. And a gigantic snake-like creature is basically erupts out of like a hiding spot on the island itself. And this thing is huge. I mean, it is giant. And it's hissing, and it's probably, I don't know. You haven't seen anything like this, not this big. So it moves towards you, and it is in a snake form, and it basically can make 2 ranged attacks or 3 melee attacks, but can use its bite and constriction only once each. So it's going to try to bite you. And he missed. So you gain your level
I like that.
in temporary hit points. That's a good thing. So on your character sheet, Felony, you can almost double your hit points. So where it says TEM or TMP, Just put the same amount of hit points in there. So you got some luck on your side.
So Felony was standing there, looking at the tower, watching the monkey, and her curiosity was just going crazy. So she's like, oh, and then she heard the chest drop, and then she's looking at the chest, and she's looking back and forth from the monkey to the chest, from the monkey to the chest. She can't decide what she's gonna do, and then this big snake thing comes up behind her, and she's like, what?
So what happens is you kind of moved aside as it was trying to bite you, and it kind of loses its momentum, and its teeth kind of just clack on the ground next to you, and it's literally got its fangs like kind of stuck into like an old piece of wood. And
Ooh.
in doing so, the fates have awarded you. So he is basically considered prone, even though he's not really prone. So I'm going to put that condition on him. Actually, he should be restrained or something like that. So let's see, he is restrained. I guess that would be paralyzed. Nope, restrained. Okay.
Yeah.
So he is restrained, and that's basically his turn. So he had that big boom, and it went to nothing.
So as soon as he goes down, Felony starts purring.
Okay, Khatri. Got a lot of hot action going on around here.
Hot stuff.
Well, she had something she intended to do, and then this giant snake creature appeared on the ground.
Yes. He hopped up through them bushes. He must have been coiled up and hiding there. And he come lashing out, and you just looked over your shoulder at the last moment, and Felony kind of moved to the side, and this thing kind of like clumsily like fell forward and sunk his teeth into a piece of wood. And he's struggling. He's like trying to move its body to free himself. So it's a matter of moments before he's able to free himself.
Can she see any of the Yuan-Ti up in this tower from where she's at without moving?
Yes, you can see the tops of their heads, and you can see their silhouettes and pieces of their bodies through the vines and the bamboo. But their cover is great. But you do see the top of the head of that gorilla ape-like thing. You've seen those in some of your studies, and you've seen monkeys before, but you've never seen anything this gigantic. And as it's moving around up there, it appears to be attacking the Yuan-Ti, and its body weight is almost too great for the structure. And you hear it fighting up there.
So seeing that something's attacking the Yuan-Ti up there, and they have quite a bit of cover, she's gonna turn to this snake abomination that's on the ground. And she's going to try Witch Bolt at 2nd level.
Nice. So you're just gonna walk up and blast.
It's a ranged spell attack, so she's not getting any closer to it.
Okay. That's fine. Being that the creature fumbled, you don't have to worry about any cover from Felony. Felony's actually not in your way.
Which is always good.
Yep. Normally she would be, but in this case she's not.
I'm just imagining I hear the crackling coming from behind me, and
Like,
I just
no.
know what she's gonna do, so I just drop.
Yeah, she just drops flat. And it fizzles to nothing. This thing is writhing around in confusion and pain, and it's trying to free itself. And you send a blast of energy towards it, and it misses.
Still not a 1. I don't really have anything that I can do with a bonus action.
Okay. You still have movement.
She's perfectly fine where she's at the moment.
Okay.
Are you gonna stay down there?
I noticed that the building was kind of rickety. She's not going up.
True. You're right.
Yeah, you're always right, Khatri. I hate that. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
Katcha.
Okay. I have a question. Is this
Sure.
abomination considered a monstrosity?
Good question. Yes.
Well, what do you know? He's my favorite enemy. Do I put the
Can you roll a perception, please?
Oh, sure I can.
Yep. In the dice tower.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of looking at your target, and you notice that this thing is very unearthly, and you decide that you want to focus your attack on this creature.
So I've got which one goes on me and which one goes on the monstrosity.
Okay.
They both. Oh, I see. No, these effects have to do with survival and intelligence check.
Mm-hmm. That would be like, that would have been something that you would have used for your perception. But
I was thinking it was more like the what do you call it?
Tracking and shit.
No, the where is this? Hunter's mark. Okay, I'm going to put my hunter's mark on it. First of all, bonus action.
Okay.
Okay, now I know I need to put this one on me and this one on the creature.
Yep.
Okay, so there's my hunter's mark. Then I will take my bow.
Yep. Target it.
And attack it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I hit it.
Wow. So that arrow goes flying and nails it. I mean, it's hissing and howling.
Oh, I should get Colossus stuff too, don't I? Or
on this attack, on this attack,
on this attack.
Yes.
Do I put now? I put the thing on it with the Colossus Slayer, right? No, this goes on me. Right. IFT goes on me. Okay, and then I will attack my second attack.
Wow.
And my damage. Wow, nice damage.
Man. So
okay.
Those arrows just bury themselves into the side of that big abomination.
Yeah, abomination, go away. And now I use my bonus action, so I will end my turn.
Okay. All right. So while you're battling the abomination, another guy pops out of nowhere, out of hiding. He moves up, and he begins to cast. So I'm going to make this attack. So a beam of energy comes towards you, Felony, and you're able to move aside, followed by another in which you're able to move aside from it. So that is your turn. Or that is his turn. Okay, so this Yuan-Ti Pureblood goes over to engage you, Mun'kai. and it does 2 scimitar attacks. And that time, it basically hit you. So that scimitar goes flying and cuts you a little bit on your side. The next one misses. So it kind of clumsily came over and swung at you and kind of just barely caught you off guard. And in the second one, you're able to kind of move out of the way. Okay, Felony.
Okay. Since this Yuan-Ti abomination is restrained, does that give me advantage for sneak attack, or
I don't know if you'd get a sneak attack necessarily, but you do get advantage.
okay? So I'm gonna attack
Um,
But
If you have advantage on the attack roll, you get sneak attack.
okay, cool. All right. So go ahead and roll first, and I think it'll automatically give you advantage because it is prone. So you don't have to add that to you. Perfect.
Okay, so I hit it the first time.
Yep. Now add your sneak attack effect. I'm going to see you straddling this thing. You jump on its back and you're straddling the thing, and you're just going to dig in with your weapon. Oh.
That
So
was attack 1.
Absolutely amazing.
that was. You just went, ugh. Okay.
And because I'm using my relentless rapier, I attack
Mhm.
again. But the
Yes.
second attack is, well,
Okay.
okay.
So you're
And you
able
don't
to
do
connect.
sneak attacks. Do you
No.
sneak attack again? You don't. That's
No.
what I thought. Okay.
Nice. So you had 2 little jabs into the same area. Well, a big jab and then a small one.
Yeah, so I get on top of him and stab hard, and then a little stab, and then
So
I'm
can you
gonna
roll a strength check? And let's see if you can stay on it.
Ride that snake.
Because if you Shell.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
All right. So that is a good roll. Good job. All right,
Thank ya.
Mun'kai.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick? If I'm getting on
Sure.
a snake, I'm not stupid. I'm gonna try and get behind his head.
You are. What's going to
Just
happen?
FYI.
He's going
I
to
don't
be
wanna
at disadvantage to attack you. So
Woo!
unless he throws you or something. Okay, Mun'kai.
All right, so kind of in a reaction to this Yuan-Ti just spitting that acid in his face, he just kind of gives a kind of a growl. He's gonna go ahead and take a swing at the Yuan-Ti 2.
Okay. So you swing that deadly accurate quarterstaff and crack her across her kneecaps. And it does some pretty hefty damage to her legs. They're probably all black and blue now.
All right, and then having landed a strike on that one, I'm gonna turn to the one that was able to cut me with the scimitar and take my second attack.
Okay. So you kind of spin around and do like a fancy maneuver, and you just hit her across her head. She tried to duck underneath the staff, but you were able to connect anyhow, and so it clips her on the back of the head. Yep. So she kind of like staggers a little bit, like whoa.
All right, and then I would like to use a key point on the one that was just struck, Yuan-Ti 1, and do flurry of blows.
Okay. So go ahead and click on one of the little bubbles and make your attack. All right. So with an open hand, you end up smacking this Yuan-Ti a few times. Nice.
All right, and I should have one more attack with that flurry of blows, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like I should have 2.
Yep. So bam, bam, bam.
Woohoo!
Whoa. So you're like bitch slapping her. Bitch slap to the back. I'm going to see your quarterstaff just clipped her head. Then you come around and backhanded her. And now, yeah, you smacked her right across the face. That's awesome.
All right, and having landed an attack with flurry of blows against Yuan T1, as an open hand technique feature, I'd like her to make a strength saving throw, and if she fails, she'll be pushed 15 feet away from me. So essentially, I'm trying to knock her off of this
Platform,
right?
Okay. So,
Knock her right on that UNT priest.
so that's number 1, right?
Right, yeah, it has to be
Okay.
the one I made that flurry
what
of
I
blows
thought.
against.
That's what I thought. So she's going to make her strength save. Is that what you said?
Correct.
She does not. So, you kick her back. She only goes 10 feet. Or 5, actually, because she has to fall, right? The rest of the way.
Right.
But she will take 4 points of damage for going through the bamboo. And then she's going to take another 6 for falling.
That's what I was hoping for. Fantastic.
So there's a total of 6 points of damage to Wanty number 1. So you hear this, ah! Ooh! She's hissing and writhing in pain. She fell right on her back. And then all this debris is raining down on her, like the bamboo and broken wood and stuff.
All right. And that will end Mun'kai's turn.
Okay. Wanty number 2 is, she is a little bit concerned. So she tries to, basically she tries to speak in common. She says, "You will not succeed. You will stay put." And you can feel this magical energy being conveyed to you. You're looking straight into her eyes. And you fail your save. So she says, "Yes, that's right. You must stay. Stay where it's safe." So she's talking to you, basically. Wanty. Okay, he's got Felony on his back. He's got to make a strength check to break the log free of his fangs, or he needs to shake her off. So I am going to elect to shake off Felony. So he has to roll pretty well. Yeah, he's able to shake you off, Felony.
Okay.
And he still has the log affixed to his teeth. So he's just going to spend the rest of his turn trying to remove the log. So that's his turn. He can't really bite you. And if he attacks you, it'll be at disadvantage. So he's kind of assed out this turn. Khatri.
Khatri is now seeing another thing appear.
Yep. He just come out of his hiding spot. And you saw the blasts. And you're thinking, crap, magic.
She is going to take a step towards Katcha,
Okay.
and she's going to use Twinned Spell
Mm-hmm.
on her fly cast so that she can affect both herself and Katcha.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay. So what's happening now?
I reach out and I touch Katcha's arm,
Mm-hmm.
and we both feel a little bit lighter than normal.
Mm-hmm.
There is no save or anything. It gives us a fly speed of 60 feet.
Nice. So are you gonna go straight up in the air, or?
I am going to spend the rest of the movement, so
Mm-hmm.
probably about 50 feet straight up.
Okay. If it gets confusing, I can always use that sketch. So open the party sheet. Go to order. And what I'm going to do is just kind of draw the ground. And I'm just going to say each one of those squares is 20 feet. Okay?
Okay.
So basically, that's where you are in relation to the ground. And we'll say the tower thing is right here. Okay?
Okay.
And anything else?
Nope.
Okay. LadyShel, so you're
Wow.
floating.
Katcha is like confused, but actually, no, she's not confused. I'm going to say that Khatri may have done this before because we've traveled together. So
Yep.
it's possible that we could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go up, let me go up about 40 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm going to target the Wanti abomination again. I still have I don't have to keep redoing the hunter's mark. It stays on it for.
Correct. Unless he dies.
As long as I concentrate.
Correct.
It's a concentration.
That is correct.
Okay, so longbow again on the abomination. I'm 40 feet in the air. And I hit it.
Nice.
And damage. And oh, did that give me? It gave me the extra damage from the
hunter's mark.
Colossus. No, yeah, Colossus Slayer.
Colossus Slayer, you have to keep reapplying.
Okay, well, I didn't get the Colossus Slayer on that one, but I will put that back on me again.
Okay. How many times were you able to use it? Indefinite? Is it spell slots?
I think it was per. Oh, is it a spell slot? Extra damage once per turn. It doesn't say it's a spell slot. Is it?
It should just be. Feature. It should just be once per turn.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Okay, so there's let's hit him the second time. Unless you're going to let me take the extra damage. No, I guess I can't. It's already rolled.
Yeah. Nice.
Here, I'll get the extra damage. Maybe he'll die.
Whew.
Oh. Well, this thing has a lot of hit points, apparently. And do I have any bonus actions? I have Healing Spirit, but I don't think that we need it right now. We're not like super hurt. So I will pass my turn. And before I go, I wanted to say that when I rolled initiative, I was happy to roll better than the boat.
Okay. So the Wanti is looking up at you guys, and he takes 2 attack with an energy attack. So first one, he tries to zap Katcha, and he missed. And second, he tries to hit Felony. And that time he connected. So Felony, you feel a large blast, but it kind of I don't know. It just felt like nothing happened to you. You just felt this energy surround you.
Cool. I'll flip him off.
So I'm not sure, but you absorbed the damage somehow.
Temporary hit points, baby.
That's right. So you still feel the concussion of it, but it didn't really give you much pain. Kind of a nuisance. Okay, so this Wan T is still kind of disoriented, but she moves around the tower thing.
Was she knocked prone when she fell?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, she's probably only moving 15 feet.
Awesome.
Yep, good call. Okay. Anybody else? Let's see. Yep. It's the rowboat's turn. He's just going to stay there.
And leak.
I'm just going to hide it. Okay. Felony.
Felony is going to take her rapier
Mhm.
and just kind of like bring it down right on top of this abomination's scaly.
Okay. If you want to do that, you'll have to do like an acrobatics or something, because you're not on his back anymore. So you'll have to jump back up on him.
Well, it's his head.
Yeah, that's true.
He's on a log, so I assume
Mhm.
that meant it was below me.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, fine, no problem. Go ahead.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to put. Oh, doesn't matter for sneak
She
attack
took
damage.
him out. So she skewered him right in the brain with her scimitar.
And after
Blood all
that,
over.
I'm gonna pull. I was like, I'm gonna pull out my rapier out of his head, and I am going to move this. Because I got temporary hit points, and I'm making the most of them.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's all I can do. I don't know. Can I hide? No.
No.
Let's see. Yeah,
You
that was my movement, right?
You got 2
I could do it as
attacks though, right?
Yes, I do. I can use it again.
You have that relentless
Wait,
attack.
yeah, but did you use the relentless thing? I thought you used a different weapon.
No, I always use a relentless rapier unless I say otherwise.
Okay. I didn't know it was called rapier. I just knew it was relentless.
I would think that usually it would have to be against the same target, but
that's what I think.
It doesn't say that, does it? It would be in the description of it.
Yes, I'm looking. Whenever you land a blow on an opponent, the rapier quickens in your hand, demanding to end the life of the creature it has wounded. So I would not get another attack on this guy. However, I do have.
You don't have a second attack at 7th level.
I do
depend
have
on the type of rogue she is.
True.
But I can take a bonus action on each of my turns. I can dash, disengage, or hide. I was going to disengage, but since I killed the abomination, I took my movement to this guy, and I'd like to hide if that's possible.
Okay, so go ahead and roll stealth and put the hide action on you. Or the note.
All right.
Okay.
We good?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. I should put this on me. There. Now I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay.
There we go.
Mun'kai. You are basically sitting there, staring at the Yuan Ti, and you're kind of confused. I need you to roll. Let's see. I guess I
Wisdom?
have to roll it. I'm going to have to roll it for him. Yep, I need to roll it for him. Okay, let's see. You still failed.
Oh no.
So she's still talking to you, telling you to stay there. She's not she's not attacking you. She's just whispering. Stay
All right.
there. Don't move. So basically she's telling you to just sit tight and relax. Nothing will happen to you. And then she kind of looks over to the side to assess the battle. And she realizes that her goose is nearly cooked. So she's freaking out. Khatri.
Well, I think Khatri would fly over just a little bit.
All right.
Still staying just as high as she was.
Okay.
And attempt she's going to use Twin Spell again, using one of her sorcery points,
Very
using it on
Who loves you?
using it for Firebolt.
Okay. So you put both hands out, you concentrate.
So she'll get 2 Firebolts.
All right.
1 against the priest.
Nice. So this time that flame goes flying towards him and hits him right in the chest as he's trying to cast a spell. Ouch.
Woohoo!
Khatri or Felony, I wouldn't laugh because you can smell that burnt skin. It don't smell too good.
And then the other one she'd like to use against Pureblood number 2.
All right. Nice. So another bolt of flame. Oh, she took it out. So that means on the next round, Mun'kai will no longer be under the suggestion. But he still has to save. The effect is still there, but I think you'd get advantage or something. Katcha.
You're about to get
Okay.
skewered, cuz.
I am going to use bonus action and move my hunter's mark to the, well, let's put it on myself first, to the remaining priest. And I'm going to use my bow. And damage. Okay,
Ouch.
and second attack, same thing.
Okay.
Starting to run out of arrows.
So that arrow just pierced him.
Okay. Oh, that wasn't
Oof.
very good. Oh, did it still hit?
Still hit, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't have very good armor class. And have his second arrow.
Youch.
Courtesy of me. And that will end my turn.
Somebody went unconscious. Okay, so priest. Okay, I'm gonna roll to see if he notices if Felony is near or not. So I'm gonna roll his perception. And yep. So he noticed you drop. No, actually he didn't. Your roll was much higher than that. So he's kind of looking around like, where did she go? And he doesn't really notice your presence there. So he is going to try to Eldritch Blast LadyShel and Cat. So you feel a blast come towards you, Khatri, and you brace for its impact. And it feels like a hammer hit you, but you're able to maintain your concentration. And LadyShel, he missed you by a mile. Okay, so this thing here, I'm going to roll to see what it does. I'm going to roll like a will check, even though they don't really do that in 5th edition. It's like a morale check. So if she doesn't roll above a 10, then she is going to flee. Yep. So she's fleeing. She's stops at the edge here, looks around, and then tries to navigate the water. And she has to make like a athletics check or something like that. Let's see. She's not doing too hot. So she's starting to drown in the water. And she ends up here because she's being pushed back by the slow current. So that's her turn. I think the boat is going to go after her. Okay, Felony.
You know, I hear that snake is a delicacy in some places.
Ew.
So I'm going to take it in
Sneak
with my
attack.
rapier.
Sneak attack.
Thank you. All right.
Oh. Ouch.
Yikes.
And I love my rogues. They do such good damage.
Damn.
And attack number 2.
Yep. You got your relentless.
No ones this time.
Whew.
And okay,
That's a
yep.
badass weapon.
All right. And then after that, I'm going to
Man.
I'm going to disengage and move.
Okay. She shuffles out of the way. Anything else?
Nope.
Mun'kai, I'm going to roll. Actually, no. The suggestion is no longer suggested. When you see her go down, you kind of snap out of your dazed, confused, kind of like, wait, what a minute? What's going on? You can see her lifeless body laying on the ground, bleeding profusely. And then all of a sudden, realization hits you that you've been magicked and that something had just gone afoul.
All right. Do I get a turn this round?
Yes. You can move. You can.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So Mun'kai kind of shakes it off and starts to look around frantically. And he spots the other Yuan Ti trying to cross the river,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to go after her.
Okay.
So he'd like to climb down
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of wade out onto the shore right about here.
Okay. So you're sitting about, I don't know, chest deep. Go ahead and roll an athletics check. Make sure that you can maintain your balance.
Yeah,
It's-
it looks kind of strong current over there.
Mm-hmm. You kind of start losing your balance, although you're not falling or anything, but you're having a hard time with your feet touching the ground. So if you do
All right.
anything, you'll be at disadvantage.
All right. Well, kind of seeing the situation that this Yuan Ti's in, she doesn't look like she's doing too hot herself. I am going to go ahead and try to make a strike with the quarterstaff, and I'm going to. My aim is to knock her unconscious,
Okay.
not for the kill.
If you look at one of your racial traits, I believe you can reach out and get advantage, so that might cancel out the disadvantage. So you're an apeling and you have some sort of ability that lets you reach. I don't know if that had to do with climbing or if it was the other thing, the extended thing, or.
I think I know what you're referring to. I saw something about grappling. I'm not
It's on
sure
your,
at the moment where.
It's in your actions tab. Look under racial abilities. And it's not the it's the one where you get one time per day.
Okay, limit break.
Yeah, what does that say?
So I can re-roll a failed strength or dexterity constitution check, or use a strength check with advantage to grapple something.
Okay, so you're in reach, and you can grapple her. It'll just be a regular roll because of the initial roll that you made.
Okay, yeah. So I'll try to extend my reach out and pull her back towards me,
Okay.
closer to the shoreline.
Okay.
And so that'll be a strength roll.
Yep. Okay, and I'm gonna make one for her. She'll be at disadvantage because she's basically drowning. You're actually saving her. Let's see. So she tries to struggle a little bit, but she's not able to. You've got a hold of her now, and you're able to move her in the direction that you need to. So now
Okay.
you guys are here. And you have a hold of her. You got her by her hair.
Great. So at this point, go ahead and use a key point to do flurry of blows, and
Okay.
try to get her unconscious.
Okay.
So I'll unleash my grapple on her to do the strikes.
Okay. Nice. Okay. That time she kind of wiggled out of the way.
All right. So with that, since one of the attacks did land, I should still get the open hand technique feature, and she must succeed a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. So nope. So what was the DC challenge? Did it say?
No, it actually doesn't say in the notes.
Okay. Well, she just basically gives up. She stopped struggling. You have her, you smacked her, and you knocked her out. So she had 1 hit point left.
All right, understood. Yeah, so she's about where Mun'kai would have wanted her, and so just kind of standing over her, that'll end his turn.
Okay. Cat or Khatri.
Khatri would like to try and use Mind Spike against this Yuan-Ti, so she's gonna have to get closer.
Okay. So you're gonna fly parallel somewhere? Fly right over your companion. Or off to the side if you want.
Probably just about straight there. That'll
Okay.
get her within range.
Okay.
It's within 60 feet.
Perfect. So he's like right within 50.
And then it's a wisdom save.
Alright. Ah, he saved.
Succeeded, but still takes half damage.
Cool. Oh, he's writhing in pain. He's sitting there holding, like he has his hands up, like he's holding his head, like he's got a headache. And he's hissing and howling and not looking too happy. Did you roll your thing, Khatri? Okay. Katcha.
Okay, I am going to fly over here. Look, I'm still, was I 40 feet up? I think I was 40 feet up. Oops, I'm not in the square. Oh, shouldn't use control, but it works good. The little thing, the little note thing does not like to be a good push to talk. Okay, I'm going to again attack the Yuan-Ti priest with my longbow. I still have the hunter's mark on me.
Yep.
Just was that supposed to go away?
No. You moved it, right?
I have the IFT custom on me still from before.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. It just stays until it dies, or I move it again.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if I had to move it. It's just the Colossus thing I have to put back on me if
You should.
Well, actually, I can get the damage right now.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, let's do
And
that,
yep.
and then make my attacks. And I am really running out of arrows here. It's nice to be a
Ooh,
ranged
you still
person,
hit.
but you sure run out of arrows fast.
Mhm.
So
Ah.
there,
Woo!
Yes.
we is dead over here.
That thing
I
turned
see-
into a pin cushion.
Yeah, it sure did. Splattered blood all over the place. And yeah, and I'll end my turn right here.
Nice. Okay, so the Yuan-Ti is hissing and is saying, "Let me go. Let me go." That's what it's doing.
So yeah, let's get over there and find out what's up.
So we're basically out of combat now. So you guys can move where you want to move. Shell and
All right, and suddenly being approached and surrounded by these tabaxi, Mun'kai, he takes somewhat of a defensive stance, unsure if they're friendly or foe.
I imagine you have 1 foot sitting on top of her, and you have your staff ready to go.
Right. 1 foot just kind of down on her throat while she's hissing. Yeah.
So you guys notice this large, ape-like creature that is dressed kind of ornamentally, appears to be pretty intelligent, and uses that staff very effectively from what a few of you or a couple of you saw.
Thank you so much for helping. Thanks for capturing her. We need to question her. We don't mean you any harm.
Mun'kai is just standing, still kind of studying these three tabaxi cautiously, unsure whether or not to trust them. Does he trust?
Good question. I leave that up to you. I mean, they haven't attacked just yet. They have surrounded you, though. So you need to make that choice through roleplay as to how you want to handle this. So are you going to remain silent, or, you're still defensive, obviously.
Okay, yeah. So he kind of takes in, his surroundings, and considering what he saw in their aid in the battle, he does have a deep hatred for these snake folk, and he raises his staff and swings it across this Wanti's head to knock her unconscious, and then he sits down and digs in his pack and just starts pulling out all different kinds of food, and just goes to town eating what appears to be like 5 portions of food, what would fill 5 different people, just various fruits and dried meats. And yeah, at this point he's completely turned his back to the tabaxi, just kind of cross-legged sitting on the jungle floor, and just starts chowing.
Still has a hand or an elbow on her. The he's like laying on her now, the snake lady. She's basically black and blue, sopping wet, and she has this look on her face like, get this goddamn rug off of me.
Well, girl, you got quite an appetite.
And she's looking, well, not the girl, but the snake lady is looking
Yeah,
at you guys like, I need your help.
I'm looking at Mun'kai saying,
Mhm.
girl, you got quite the appetite.
I am no girl. And he just still face full of food all over, just kind of over the surrounding hair around his mouth.
He's got chipmunk cheeks and
Absolutely, he's a ravenous eater. He's just completely starved after battle.
I'm sorry. Your tiara, man, it looked awesome. I apologize. My name's Felony. This is Katcha, Khatri.
I bow my head and give you my thanks for helping us defeat these evil creatures. I see you share a hatred of them that rivals our own.
Mun'kai takes a minute to finish the food that he was working on, and then kind of wipes his hands off, slowly stands up, and extends a greeting to the tabaxi. I'm Mun'kai.
Pleasure to meet you.
So, we came here. We're on a mission. We're looking for a small girl. We have strong belief that these Yuan Ti may know where she is. We'd like to question her.
All right, so Mun'kai just kind of gives a motion with his hand while he still has one foot on this Yuan Ti's chest, kind of letting them know it's okay for them to go ahead and ask their questions.
okay. So
Okay.
now you need to do your talking. Somebody does.
So, Khatri and Katcha, do you want to go this persuasion route or intimidation route or something I'm not thinking about? I don't have a really good intimidate. I have a good persuasion. What about you guys?
I'm not good at either one. I have a +1 in charisma, so yeah, I'm probably not the best one to do.
Khatri finally floats down to the ground. She's been hovering this whole time.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
probably go
the
down
spell was still in effect after all.
Mhm.
Thanks for not stopping concentrating and let me drop to the ground.
Oh wow.
I'm not too great with the whole words thing. I would prefer not to take point.
Okay then.
It's all you, Felony. Smooth talker, you.
All right. So,
Um,
felonies. Oh, go ahead.
Khatri does take a moment and walks over and casts tongues on Felony.
Ooh, what's that do?
Oh, allows you to speak a lot of different languages.
When you speak, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear you understands you, and you can understand any spoken language.
So no matter what they say
Okay.
or what you say, it should be understood.
How long does it last?
All right, so I'm gonna come over here close to her.
It lasts for an hour.
And I'm gonna kind of crouch down and just kind of look at her because she had
Mhm.
said, "I need someone to help me." And she's gonna say, "Okay, okay, okay, got you. Look, we are looking for a small girl. We know that you may know where she is. So if you'll just let us know what you know, then maybe we can convince this big guy to let you go."
She kind of looks at you with this look of disgust. And she said, "Oh my God, you talk so slow." And she's like, feeling the weight of the gorilla on top of her. And finally she says, "I don't know about the girl. They brought her here, though. They left a day ago.
Where is the girl now?
They will meet up somewhere along the river. Follow the waterway. Follow the river." And she's like, "You won't find her, though. They won't let you have her. There are too many."
That's fine. We're going to follow the river. Where? To
Our
where are we
Lord
going to follow?
Seth, our Lord Seth will ensure that you fail.
With this Mun'kai, he's getting pretty frustrated listening to this Yuan Ti talk and kind of digs his heel in and speaks up. Gaining this knowledge, hearing that there was some girl that was taken, and he's demanding to know what of the Gorillini? Were there any Gorillini with her?
She doesn't know what you're saying. What are you saying? I don't know what you speak of, ape
I look
man.
over to Felonious, and there's desperation in my eyes for her to translate for me.
Golini. Were there any Golini with the girl?
Oh. So she's like, kind of like trying to think of a way to say it. And she goes, "Yes, there were others like him." And she
Yes.
points, or she tries to point. She like uses her chin to point in his direction. "Yes, there are more, but they are not with."
So I'm going to look up at Mun'kai and say, she says, yes, there are more, but they're not with. Then where are they? She's going to look back down at the
She basically relays to you guys her definition of what she thinks. What she explains is she goes, I I left my home several weeks ago. They were there. And there are several outposts and bases along the rivers. If you wish to find your loved ones or your friends or your kind, You must follow the rivers. They will take you to the great kingdom. The kingdom of the snakes. Dum dum dum.
So she's just gonna look away and look right at Golina, sorry, at Golina, at Mun'kai and relay that back, that the girl and his kind, we need to follow the river to the people of the snakes.
All right, and Mun'kai, his expression changes. There's a little bit of relief, but also panic that sets in. It's very
She adds a couple more sentences just to be a bitch. She says, "Your kind will be enslaved. They are not good for breeding. However, the young one, she will be groomed and bred with the snake folk."
I kick her in the head
Okay,
to knock her out, not to kill her.
okay. So you kick her head, and she rolls over. Like her head just kind of rolls back, and her tongue is kind of loose, sticking out. She has a forked tongue.
Because I was just upset with what she said about the girl.
Yep. She's being really vile.
Well, should we kill her?
Mun'kai just takes a few steps backwards.
What do you think?
Katcha pushes her in the water.
Awesome.
The piranhas will finish her.
Bye-bye.
Oops! Did I do that?
All right. So I imagine that you moved up here and you kicked her into the river, and now she's going bye-bye.
Katcha, how many arrows you have?
Not many. Let me see. I can hopefully retrieve some of my arrows from our. Oh boy.
I have 19, and I don't use that many. You want 10 of mine?
Yes, please. We could do
All right.
the party sheet thing.
Okay.
And also I'm going to ask Mun'kai, how did you get to the island? Do you have your own boat, or do you have some kind of transportation? Because I'm curious, with 4 of us, I don't think that we can all take the boat, and I'm curious how we will travel together.
Maybe we should wait till morning either way.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
No one said anything about traveling together.
Well, if we're going to find we all have the same idea of what we want to do, I would think that we would travel together. Maybe,
Perhaps.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
I'm going to
assuming.
add 10 arrows. 10 arrows to my thing. Plus,
Okay.
how many can I get back from? Can I get half back
Yes.
from what I used? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All right. Yeah. So Mun'kai responds to you, Katcha. I come from a land far east. I've traveled very far. Unfortunately, I possess no boat or means of quick travel. I arrived in Port Nyanzaro and was taken into the jungle by a guide. I learned that the Regaran in Port Nyanzaro had purchased some slaves and then proceeded to trade them to these Yuan Ti snake people. When my guide perished in the jungle a few days ago, I've just been making the way the best I can, trying to follow and keep watch the best, picking up any details. What have you learned of these people here?
Yeah, they are
use-
notorious for taking people as slaves. And then I will also mention that since there's a lot of wood around here, perhaps that I can help make an additional river craft for us to travel together if you wish to travel with us.
Yeah, Felony is gonna look at Mun'kai and say, the Yuan Ti take slaves for breeding, for experimentation, for sacrifices. That's what she said. That's happening to your people, to to the little girl we're looking for. But it does sound like we're heading in the same direction.
And with that, Mun'kai has a look of understanding that washes over him. You know, he mentioned earlier that he was seeking somebody, and then he proceeds to ask you, have you seen anyone that looks like me on Chult, anywhere on this continent? Am I the first of my kind you've come across?
Yes.
All right, he looks disappointed and then responds, I cannot do this on my own. I'd be glad to have your company if you're willing to have me.
We are.
Okay. So you guys have a potential traveling companion. Now to create a craft was going to take all of you to work together, and it'll take a couple days to make such a rig. So if you like, I can give you guys at least a long rest. And LadyShel, you can recover a few more arrows, like 3 more arrows,
Oh, that's
if you
all of them.
if you spend time on the island.
I'm disappointed that we're still losing 2 days that we didn't want to lose before, but I mean, I see it as a necessity. We do need to have craft to travel together. We can't like all overload this poor little.
Mun'kai, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Mun'kai speaks up and tells Katcha, considering what we've both witnessed, it seems like they're collecting prisoners and slaves, and I fear that what they have in store for them does not entail a quick death. We may have time on our side at least.
Yeah.
So with that, you guys have to consider using this as like a little base of operations for the next couple days.
Before you go on, I'd just like to say that Felony remembered that there was some shiny rounds underneath this thing.
Oh yeah. Upon investigation, you noticed a whole little stack of coins that had fallen from underneath this platform. It looks like they were hiding it in like like the flooring from above. They had it like kind of like tied up underneath this decking so no one would notice it. But during the fight, it knocked it loose and all that treasure came down and spilled all over the jungle floor. Shinies!
I would like to go inside the is it a building or is it just a platform?
It's basically a platform, but they use the under part as a shelter.
Okay,
because
I would like to go in the shelter area and do an investigation and see what I can.
Okay. So go ahead and roll investigation check. Okay, after a thorough examination of the area around, it looked like they had a small cooking fire. You see various bones of like little birds and rodents that they were eating, possibly. And you also notice some shedded skin kind of laying around, like snaky skin. And then there are a couple big rocks that you can sit on. And you also found another quiver of arrows altogether.
Woo!
Perfect.
From there,
are there any berries?
Yes, there is one berry that was buried underneath one of the Wantee's mess kit or the bag. So you have a clue now that the girl was brought here temporarily.
Okay.
So,
that
so
girl is
she
too
wasn't
young.
lying.
Huh?
Yeah.
That girl is too young to be leaving clues. So someone with them
Mm-hmm.
wants us to find them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So how many arrows did you say I found?
You got to
in
know
the quiver?
all together. You have a whole new quiver. So there's what 20 arrows.
So another 20?
Yes.
So I'm
Should I
gonna
add
get all
another
mine
quiver?
back.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my dagger too.
Yep. If anyone else used any missile weapons, you can gain at least half of them back.
Do I need a second quiver in my inventory?
Yes, for weight.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so what do you guys think? That'll conclude this. I'm going to give you guys a long rest, and you guys can talk a little bit if you need to. Let's see.
So just want to make sure what we're going to do is we're going to stay here. We're going to spend the time we need to build an accompanying raft.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to follow the river.
So the raft is going to be for him and maybe one other person.
That sounds good. Because
yeah, we could do that.
It's only two in the boat then, so the boat won't have such a, chance of capsizing or anything.
Yeah.
Will it lessen our time if we only build it big enough for one? For just him?
Well, you might cut a half a day.
Or would it maybe also save some time if we scavenged this wooden structure to see if, I assume that there's already some boards and things tied together on it that maybe we could
yes.
use as...
Exactly. So you could dismantle.
That's an excellent idea. It looks like looks like a raft already.
Yep. So that will cut off a whole day. So you only have to spend a day here, and with your strength and with your guys' know-how and survival skills, you should be able to salvage a raft. Why don't you give yourself some inspiration, Mr. Mun'kai? I think you were the VIP.
Indeed. Are we ending our session here at 6 o'clock?
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought we were playing for 3 hours.
Well, that's just a ETA. This is a good stopping point. Okay. And if you would like to, Mun'kai, come back for the next session, I welcome. If you can't, it's no big deal. What will happen is you will remain on the island, and the others will move forward. So if someone can't play next time, whenever next time is, we'll move forward, and I'll pull in another guest or something.
Okay, understood.
Same with the rest of you. If for some reason you guys can't play or one of you can't play, then you will remain on the island and use this as like a base of operations.
Okay.
Because you guys didn't dismantle the entire structure. You just scavenge wood and such that you needed.
Sounds good.
Because you still have vines and reeds and bamboo and other natural resources that you can harvest. So you didn't completely dismantle it. You probably took out one of the walls or something.
So I'm not sure when the next time I can play is, but it would be on a weekend whenever unless I'm going to do a solo section or something. I guess that's up to you.
Yeah, I might do that once in a while to move the next player forward. So let's just say 3 of you play, 1 of you doesn't. I'll have a guest in for that time. But as the guest, as he splits paths or he needs to separate from the party, I have to move the ones that were left behind. So there is a potential that I might have to run a solo adventure to get you caught back up.
Or if you like, you could, someone could play my character so that I could stay with the party. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah, that can happen too.
If it's going to be easier, I will allow that.
Okay. Well, it's going to be, an interchange of people. I don't want the same 5 people every week, but we do have to have a core group. So we got to have at least a couple core players, and then the rest we can farm out or make new NPCs. I do have a turtle in the wings and a lizard man.
What about the drunken cleric?
The drunken cleric, yes, that too. It's either Kenku or Aarakocra, but it's drunken. So he's smashed on good wine every day.
Katcha likes the sound of that.
And I'm sure Felony wouldn't mind either.
She'd want to taste.
Oh yeah,
Mmm.
fine wine. So hopefully you had fun. Was this your first time playing Mun'kai?
This was it was my first 5e session as well as my first actual session as a player on Fantasy Grounds. I had a lot of
Nice.
fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, were you comfortable? I mean, did it feel awkward or stupid, or you know what I mean? Did you feel bad or?
No, you guys were really easy, I guess, to kind of mesh in and get in the groove of things with right away. So, yeah, no issues on my side.
Great. What about the rest of you? Any issues or?
I thought this was an excellent team here. And I would say that we are just like Fantasy Grounds College. We are friendly to everyone.
Yeah, not so bad, huh? I really like the way the map looks, and I like how the things turned out. It wasn't at all what I expected. I was thinking we're going to be in a big, long, protracted combat because of the enormity. Some of those Yuan Ti were not small by any means.
Well, luckily the one was what do you call it? A monstrosity or something. So I could use my extra, damage towards it. So that was helpful.
Yeah.
And his fumble too.
Oh yeah.
That was hilarious.
By the way, you can remove your temporary hit points if they're not already.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll call that a wrap. It is the top of the hour. I pretty much that's what we have for today's session. Sorry it wasn't longer. That was a good 2 hours. That's about right. Hopefully we'll be able to play more of these. I am going to engage the community more and start pulling in staff members and all kinds of stuff. So hopefully these little one-shots will get some of us playing and get us more inspired. Again, I thank all of you for showing up and spending time with me, and also to help the community grow. So this is exactly what I want to do.
Mission accomplished. And thank you to the chat for watching. We hope you enjoyed our
Yes, thanks for the bits, guys, and
thing.
thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it.
Oh, we got some bits. Thanks for the bits.
Okay. So I guess we'll call it a wrap. I'll end the stream, and I will post reruns for this up on YouTube. Shell and I will make sure those are up, and hopefully you guys will be able to watch those if you missed anything. So then we will play again next time. So take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See ya.